Good evening, everybody. It's Monday. Time for yet another edition of Time Out Over Time on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel, live and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. As I said, this is Time Out Over Time. Relatively short show tonight. It was, if you planned a day that you're everything that you would want to do in that day, it doesn't always go. Let's just put it this way: my day did not go according to script today. That's why we're getting out a little bit later tonight. We don't have a lot of time to do this either. I'll try to get you caught up on everything that's gone on and transpired today with all the breaking news that we've had and such. So here we go. Let's get the commercial out of the way first for the good folks at Frank Beck Chevrolet. I need fresh copy. I need some fresh copy. What I can tell you is you can check out their selection of pre-owned vehicles, all price to move right now. If you're planning on driving on vacation this summer, let the pros at the service department double check your vehicle to make sure you're ready to go, ready to hit the road. And that's great advice. If you're planning a trip, summer road trip, summer vacation, wherever you're going around this great state and great country, you want to get in there ahead of time and double check, get everything checked out, make sure your vehicle was roadworthy, good to go. I mean, tires, everything else. That's really great advice. So anyway, Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, and on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Chevy Drive Center, Michigan. Frank Beck Chevrolet is indeed the number one Chevrolet dealer in our tri-state area. And I'll have to make a note here. I need to get in to see Mr. Bob Flynn to get some fresh copy to pass along to you. I did realize that we're already into June, I guess, but where does the time go? Huh? By the way, the month of, get into that just a second. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance in downtown Jonesville on the corner of M99 and US 12, 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, that's by BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Again, on the corner of M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville, 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Last month of May had to be probably weather-wise maybe the worst month I've ever seen. I mean, I'm telling you, yesterday was June 1st, and I getting a little tired of waking up every morning and hearing the furnace running with lows in the 40s. And you can't put the sweatshirts away yet. Now, we are going to be in the 80s, high 80s, I guess, the next couple of days. The humidity will rise. Today was an absolutely beautiful day today. I'll take 364 just like this. But it will be rather warm, uncomfortably warm and muggy the next couple of days. We have a cold front moving in then. We've got a rain, and then things will be cooling off, a little more seasonal temperatures. I just gave you your weather report while we're at it, too. Maybe I should do the weather, too. That way you wouldn't have to watch that on TV or listen to it. I'm not a meteorologist. NBA. The Saturday night, in Indianapolis, the Pacers took care of the Knicks, 125-108. Indiana wins that series 4-2. And the Thunder already punched their ticket to the finals last week. So starting the NBA finals will start Thursday night at 8:30 on ABC. All the games are on ABC. Thursday night at ABC, and then again Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Those would be the first two games in the NBA Finals in OKC, in Oklahoma City. So, by the way, the Thunder are prohibitive favorites to win this series. And that doesn't surprise me. I said that last week. I thought they'd win the whole thing. I think Indiana will win a couple of games, but I'm picking OKC to win that series in 6. Yeah, that's why I'm looking at it. Indiana's put up a pretty good fight so far, but OKC is pretty much the best team in the NBA, and I think they're going to prove it, go out and win a championship. As far as the NHL goes, The first two games of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals will be in Edmonton in the Canadian Rockies uh, Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, Friday night in Edmonton. Panthers, Florida Panthers, and the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. That commences, as I said, Wednesday and Friday, first two games in Edmonton, out in the Canadian Rockies. Keep in mind with the Oilers in the finals, they will be attempting to do something that hasn't been done since 1993. A Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup. Last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup, I know it's hard to fathom, was 1993 when the Montreal Canadiens won it. And I think their coach was Jacques Demers, former Red Wing coach, I think. Pretty much. Well, anyway, the news broke today. Lions made news and the Tigers made news. Let's get the Lions out of the way first. Frank Ragnow is retiring. He was a no-show at OTAs last week. He and Alex Anzalone were both no-shows last week. The only two who didn't show up. There's nothing wrong physically with either one of them. In fact, Dan Campbell said he spoke with both of them last week and everything was good to go, good, fine. I'm sure he must have been told last week, though, when he spoke with Ragnow that he was going to be retiring and he wanted him to make the announcement today or let him make the announcement today. We're going to miss big number 77. The guy had a very painful toe issue, inoperable, chronic condition, and he hasn't practiced much in the last 2 weeks, but he always gave it his all, always gave 100% on game day, and we're going to miss that. But last week, so you saw the rookie out of Georgia, second round pick, Tate Ratledge, playing at center with the first team. Now, I think it's not out of the question. You could see in the middle of that line this coming season, Miles Frazier or I need some water. Sorry. Allergies are still acting up. You could see Miles Frazier or Christian Mahogany. I think you see both of them at guards. Obviously, one on the left, one on the right, with Ratledge in the middle. I can see that with the two veteran on the outside in Decker and Penesul. So from left to right, you could see Decker at left tackle, Miles Frazier at left guard, Tate Ratledge at center, Christian Mahogany at right guard, and Penesul at the right tackle. They wanted to get the line to get a lot younger. I think it just did. Well, where does that leave Graham Glasgow? Back up. I can't see him starting after the second half that he had last year. I'll be very surprised if he gets a starting job. Talk a little bit more about that, but just remember too, they've got another OTA coming up here in the very near future. And I think we'll hear more about that then. And I'll have more to tell you about that then. But for the time being, that's where we stand right now. Tigers have got the starting lineup and tonight's starting pitchers. First, let's get this word in for Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, who without his great technical knowledge and assistance and patience, we probably wouldn't be doing this right now. I'm greatly indebted to Tim, Lendley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 37 Walton Street. Probably one of the nicest men you're ever going to want to meet. 517-610-5372. Any technical issues at all, this is the place in our area to go for service. Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive, maybe 100 yards west of Howell Street. Anything at all. Computers, new or used. Maybe the computer you have now needs a little tweaking. Flat screen, big flat screen TV mounting, programming. Maybe you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Please get in there and see Tim or one of his very capable staff. Very capable of addressing any issues you may have in the technical field. We are so glad and lucky to have them in our area. So Again, 37 Walden Street, downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. But get in there. And what you do, tell me and Mickey sent you, will you please? As you saw in the headline, Parker Meadows is back. Justin Henry Malloy is back down in Toledo. So Parker will be leading off tonight in center field, and Javier Baez is batting ninth. He's back at shortstop. Tigers going into the game are 39-21. It's a 4-game series with the White Sox. The last 2 games on the Wednesday and Thursday could be threatened by the weather. We'll keep an eye on that right now, but that's what we have coming in here Thursday, and weather could be an issue for the last 2 games in Chicago. Keep that in mind. However, they will be going back to Chicago later this year, so they probably wouldn't have to play a doubleheader if the game had to be made up. They could do it then. Anyway, let's hope they get 4 games in. But will you be disappointed if they don't take 3 out of 4? I think I would be. White Sox are better. They're better this year than they were last year. Pitching, they've got some good young pitchers who are on the rise, I think. Anyway, they're better this year than they were last year, at least in the pitching department anyway. Still not much to offer offensively, but no. Anyway, tonight's starting pitchers, Jack Flaherty for the Tigers, 3-6 with an ERA of 3.94. Jonathan Cannon, right-hander for the White Sox, he's 2-6 with an ERA of 4.15. The lineup, as I said, Parker Meadows is back, leading off in center field. Gleyber Torres batting second at second base. Gary Carpenter is the DH tonight, batting third. Riley Green batting cleanup in left field. Dylan Dingler hitting fifth, catching. Colt Keith is at first base tonight, hitting sixth. Zach McKinstry is at third base, hitting seventh. Wencel Perez, is batting eighth in right field. And batting ninth back at shortstop is Javier Baez. Spencer Torkelson being given the night off tonight. I haven't heard anything with him, any physical issues. I think he's just being given the night off. If you look ahead at the Tigers' schedule too, the month of June is probably their easiest month of the season. They've got these 4 in Chicago. They come home this weekend to play the Cubs, the other team, a 3-game series. Then they hit the road for Baltimore for 3 games, and they come right back to Detroit. And they play 3 with the Reds and 3 with the Pirates. So once they're done with the White Sox, they have 3 consecutive series, all with National League Central Division teams. Cubs, Reds, Pirates. Interesting. And then I think then they go to Tampa for 3, come right back here again and play the Athletics and the Twins. They've got the Twins at the end of the month. That could be an interesting series, depending on what transpires between now and then. But you want to look at the rest of the Central Division. The Twins are still on the West Coast. They just lost 2 out of 3 in Seattle. They're beginning a series tonight in Sacramento against the A's. Again, it's a late night game. Kansas City has the day off. They're starting a series in St. Louis tomorrow, 3-game series. The Guardians also have the day off. They will begin a 3-game series in New York tomorrow against the Yankees. Pretty much get you caught up on the American League Central. As we speak, the Tigers have a 6-game lead on the Guardians, 7 on the Twins, and 8 on the Royals. So I said Friday that the runs would be at a premium in the Tigers-Royals series, and except, of course, for Friday night, they won 7-5. There were a total of 2 runs scored in the next 2 games. Both 1-0 shutouts. The Royals won Saturday, the Tigers won Sunday. Not too often you win a game where you had no RBI, but that was the case yesterday for the Tigers. So, and again, I'll be. I would consider a disappointment if they didn't take at least 3 out of 4 from the White Sox. They're not as bad as they were last year, but they're still not a very good team. So, all right, I think I've got you caught up and everything. I'm sorry I got on late tonight, but that's just the way my Monday went for me. Hope the AC is working because we're going to need it the next couple of days. That's all we have to say about that. I'll talk to you all again on Wednesday. Don't forget every Saturday morning here locally at WCSR 92.1 FM with Andy and Jed on the Time Out Show. And as I said, I'll speak to you all again on Wednesday. I can't thank you enough for watching and listening. Remember to please treat each other with respect. And like I said, next couple of days are going to be uncomfortably warm. So I hope your AC is working. Anyway, until Wednesday, I'll say so long to everybody. Have yourselves a good evening and go Tigers. Good night.